So far this tournament, none of big lads have blown me away really. Apart from them first 2 games, I've been best in this competition by a mile. And it does annoy me a bit when people undermine your performance because who you're playing. Like, yeah, it's only calibre Scotland, so it's not that good, is it? But what do you expect them to do? Lose? You can only beat what's in front of you. And it's not like they limped over line with a result either. They battered Scotland start to finish, and they were very comfortable against a better team in Hungary as well. And again, Scotland are useless. Don't get me wrong, Scotland are useless. They look like they turned up for an holiday. And I've just come back off an holiday in Spain. And when you're abroad, you can't watch things like ITV or BBC, can you? Which isn't very useful when you want to watch football, especially when Euros is on. But thankfully, Surfshark VPN gives you a way around that. This is me on beach looking large. I'm going to show you how quick it is to connect to a VPN. You can load app up on your phone. As you can see, that's me trying Spain and Valencia where I was. Connect back to an English VPN, and then 3 seconds later, bam, you're in. And for me, this was about watching Euros. Yeah, I can watch it in Spanish. I can barely speak English, so what use is that to me? I want to watch Roy Keane and Ryan to give me their thoughts on what's happened in games, which you can't do in a foreign country without Surfshark's VPN. Surfshark has got more than 3,200 servers in over 100 countries, meaning that you can unblock sports streams that are only shown in certain countries. I mean, look at how many there are. There's trillions. There's not trillions for legal matters. And Surfshark's VPN keeps your online identity safe by encrypting all the information sent between your device and internet. So this keeps your personal data protected from big companies and cyber criminals that are selling your data. And Netflix, man. This is one of the main ones, Netflix. How crap is England's Netflix? Well, not to worry, because you can connect to Japan, you can connect to America, you can connect to loads of different ones that are all showing different things or different films, different series that have all got to offer. Now, thanks to Surfshark's offer, if you use my code Callum, then you'll get an extra 4 months for free. There is a link below in the description to check out if you're interested. And if you get it and you don't fancy it, it's alright, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's literally no risk to trying this. I want to say thank you again to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Make sure you check them out again. There's a link in the description. And let's get back in there. Wow, thanks, man. No worries, bro. Germany are going to be a nailed-on success in this tournament for a number of reasons as well. I've got a little checklist. First being the manager in Nagelsmann. The experience this bloke has for a 36-year-old manager is scary, to be honest with you. His first job at Hoffenheim, he kept them up when there were 7 points from safety at time. Season after that, so from being in a relegation battle, surviving on last day, he finished 4th and qualified for Champions League, something that Hoffenheim had never done before. Went to Leipzig. At time, this is when Red Bull was starting to really take a notch up. He got to a Champions League semi-final. And as always in Germany, if you're doing well, you are on a fast track to Bayern Munich, because German Bundesliga is a monopoly. So that's exactly what happened. He went from Leipzig to Bayern. And he just kept winning things. And then he got sacked, which I feel like Bayern don't make a lot of mistakes, higher-up-wise. But sacking him, what are you doing, man? That led to Bayern not winning Bundesliga for the first time since dinosaurs were kicking him out. This is the first time that I can actually remember, probably since Dortmund 10, 12 years ago, that Bayern haven't won Bundesliga. He's found loads of success at the 3 clubs that he's managed, and he's considered as one of the best young managers in the world still. He loves a press, which we didn't see as much against Scotland, because Scotland never had a sniff at ball. They're just camping in their own half. We didn't see a lot of it against Hungary as well, but it is there. We'll see it more against better sides. Because even though Hungary are much better than Scotland, Hungary didn't even have 2 minutes of possession. They couldn't sustain any attacks because of how Nagelsmann is setting them up. They're winning ball back high in their final third all time. And that'll suit this German tactic ground. You've got Havertz, who plays a similar style to this at Arsenal. I mean, it's almost at a point now where every successful team plays a high press to win ball back in opposition's half anyway. But Havertz is used to being asked to press. And then you've got young'uns on either side of him in Musiala and Wirtz, who are both 21, that could run all day, every day. So he's going to be able to implement his playing style, Nagelsmann, very easily with a German team, which normally you'd say it's hard to do with an international team because you've not got as much time with players. It's much more about individual quality than it is setting a structure up and some tactics. There's no pep ball going on. A lot of time it is just go and win. And he's not starting your attacking players like Muller anymore, or a bit older and won't be able to press like that. So the manager and the playing style, hand in hand. And speaking on them attackers, if Germany are to go and win Euros, the forwards that they've got are going to be one of the main reasons. Like, Musiala is ridiculous. It's so effortless. His dribbling, his decision-making, his ability in final third. I'm going to say something crazy now, but you've got to understand where I'm coming from. Right? He is the closest player to Messi that I genuinely think I've seen. Not ability-wise, obviously. There will never be another Messi. Messi are an absolute freak. But his dribbling style, how quick he is, the flair, it is like I'm watching a Aldi version of Messi. Not as in, I love Aldi, Aldi's mint, but I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? He's the best player I've seen at Euro so far, comfortably, and he's only 21. And you've got Wirtz on the other side, Bundesliga player of the year. These lads are serious, I am telling you. Just had an unbeaten season with Leverkusen as the best player, and again, he's 21. Like, the future of this national team is limitless. They've got the perfect mix, I think, of the youth with the experience. The natural leaders that they've got in that 11 and in squad is ridiculous. Just in starting 11, you've got Neuer, Rudiger, Kroos, Gundogan, you've got Muller on bench who's in squad. There's players there that's won everything there is to win. Like, there were 11 Champions League winners starting on that pitch for Germany against Scotland. 11. And yeah, Kroos has got 6 of them, but we'll talk about him in a sec. But 11 Champions League winners in starting 11. 11 Champions League medals. They are serial winners. And apart from saying obvious, Kroos is one of the best midfielders ever. Ever. 101 out of 102 successful passes against Scotland. They were pulling strings from start to finish. Scotland honestly couldn't get a hand on him. There were no sweat on him. There were no handprint. There were nothing on his shirt entire game, Kroos against Scotland. They couldn't get near him. And it was the same against Hungary. We're one of the best players on pitch again. And I think that the fact that these are his last games as a footballer for his country in Euros, when their home nation, he's not going to go down without a fight. These are not going to be an easy side to beat, but with him at centre. And I feel like when you're trying to stop Kroos, or try and deal with him at least, it's just picking your poison, isn't it? Because Scotland and Hungary have both tried different things against him. Scots just let him have ball 24/7. He was just doing what he wants. There was no pressure on him at all. Just pinging passes start to finish. Whereas Hungary tried to put a little bit more on him, but the outcome is same regardless. You can either let him have ball and he's just going to play it past you, or you can try put some pressure on him, get closer to him, and he's going to play it past you. So it's almost a case of like, well, what point? Do you know what I mean? We can't stop him anyway. Kroos is a quarterback. He just sits deep and he's spraying balls about 24/7. I think you've got to try and stop the German domination. Because if you let him have the ball, you let the source just do what he does, which is Kroos, you are never getting out your own half, as we've seen against both the teams that Germany have played. They're very, very solid defensively as well. They've only conceded 1 shot against Scotland. 1 shot. Not on target. The goal that they conceded was more funny than anything serious. It just bounced off Rudiger's nut and went in top bins. They conceded more shots against Hungary, but they didn't concede. So it's like a case of you've got to go through these multiple layers of a brick wall before you get to Neuer, one of the best keepers ever in net. It's a graft. It's a long slog if you are playing this side. You can't see him conceding a lot, and they look a constant threat. They're going to score a load of goals. So not to go too Michael Owen on you, but if you're scoring a lot of goals and you're not conceding, you look like a side that's going to go quite far. And on top of that, and what I think is genuinely one of the most important things, the home nation. You cannot underestimate the power that gives you. And a lot of these countries have travelled quite well. You're obviously going to get your England and Scots, but Dutch have travelled really well. Romania, Ukraine, Austria. A lot of these sides have took a lot of fans there. But when it gets into last stages where it matters, and there's more and more Germans in ground, it's going to make a difference. Like, prime example, look at last Euros when England played Germany. That was the best atmosphere Wembley has ever seen for an England game. And it got them over the line. It's something that can make a difference in tighter games. Like, German fans are nuts. Like, Germany are going to be playing home games. Most of the national teams played in Bundesliga. They're not going to a different country and getting used to a different culture. They're not going to Spain or Greece and playing in a really hot country. They are at home. And it's going to be hard to beat them because of it. And Germany's home record ain't actually that good, just looking at it based on like friendlies. Since 2023, they've lost at home to Belgium, Colombia, Japan and Turkey, all in friendlies. But when it gets tough and your fans get behind you, and you get it into quarters and semis at final, and it's a 70-30 split, Germany to whoever they're playing, it is going to be horrible to try and beat them. And if I take off, well, I could take off this top. If I put another top on that want this, I think these are favourites. I think Germany are the best side that I've seen so far. Obviously, you've got England and France who have won the games, but not really shown as much of Germany so far. Everything's going for them. They're going to get to the final. Whether they win it or not depends entirely on if England are there. If England aren't there, then they're going to win it. If England are there, then I'm going to be delusional and say that we're going to win it. But if I'm being completely honest, it's coming home. So thanks for watching. I want to say thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Make sure you subbed. Thank you all for watching again. Thank you all for watching. And thank you all for watching. Love you all. Thank you all for watching.